Hi, I'm Hebert. We are here at OCon 5. This is Omaha's very own Comic-Con. This is their 5th year. I've been attending this Comic-Con since the very first year. It's the first con I ever went to sell some books that I wrote, a sci-fi series called the Surface series, and now a children's chapter book called Dragons Are Meant to Fly. And throughout that experience, throughout these years, I've met a number of very talented people, local people, a lot of artists I've collaborated with. And so today we are going to go through interviewing those folks, talking to them about their processes, their crafts, the different things that they create, and just show you what's happening here in Omaha. Hi, I'm Hebert, and we are here at Comic-Con in Council Bluffs. I am here with Baroness Von T,
hello,
cosplay guest. We're going to talk about your experience as a creator as it relates to Comic-Cons. So you craft a lot, you do all kinds of random things, and I'd like to hear about all of them, but you're here specifically as a cosplay guest.
Yep.
What kind of commitments or other interview, what do you have lined up this weekend that you're doing?
So this weekend, a lot of what I really love to do when I'm at Comic-Cons is panels and more the educational stuff, because I've been doing this for about 5 years, and it was a long road learning how to do the different techniques, different crafting, and now that I've perfected, I say perfect, that's not, now that I kind of know what I'm doing, improved, there you go. I love to teach other people, because I know I struggled, especially with like foam work and special effects makeup. Those are two of my specialties, so I love to do panels, educational, we just call them 101 panels, where people can come in and I just give them the basics, like, hey, if you're going to start, it's not as daunting as it looks. A lot of people look at my armor and they're like, there's no way that's a floor mat. Like,
right.
Yes, it's a floor mat, but I can teach you how to manipulate it. And once people learn those basic starter techniques, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And I'm like, I know, right? And I just love to really express to people that, even if you can't build foam armor like that, you can still go to the thrift store and buy something, put it together. That's still cosplay too. So I just want people to know that it's everything. If you're in a costume and you're having fun, you're a cosplayer. So, I like to teach people and educate. So I have a couple podcast interviews today. I've got a Q&A, which is kind of the 101, getting into cosplay. And then on Sunday, I've got my foam panels so that people can come and learn how to do that. So a lot of my weekends are about half being at the booth, meeting people, taking photos, just chatting with the crowd, entertaining them, entertaining children. And then the other half is teaching people how to get into doing this.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So now, I don't know that I've ever seen you in the same costume twice.
Probably not.
Can you give us an idea of how many different cosplays you do?
A lot.
Is it in the dozens? Is it in?
It's over 100.
Over 100.
I lost count at, I think it was like 125.
Wow.
But again, I consider myself the exception to the rule, whereas, a lot of people have 3 to 4 to 5 really good costumes that they repeat, which is great.
Right.
I just have a mental problem where I have to constantly be making something new.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you mentioned that, because you're focusing on the crafting rather than honing a specific character, having to make it super accurate. You're more interested in the process of creating.
And I kind of do both sides of it, because I do, just last year I recently got into doing cosplay competitions. The bigger ones, I took first place at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. I competed in the Crown Championships last year. Oh, there's a fly. And I actually have my competition piece displayed at my booth, and that took, well over 400 hours. And that was, accuracy, detail, right down. It was very, very technical. But then like this, most of this was purchased on Amazon. I bought a bodysuit, my friend Rod did some airbrushing on it, Amazon pants, gloves, bracelets I already had. So I also do the really easy ones. Yeah. And, I don't even know who this character is. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z, but my boyfriend loves that show, and he wanted me to do DBZ. So I'm like, all right, I like the pink dude because he loves cookies and sweets, and I'm like, I can do that. So, it's just if something's visually appealing to me, and I'm like, I can get pieces at a thrift store, let's go. So I do, very opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm very much about buying a Halloween costume, throwing it on, or, cosplay competition, very technical crafting skills. So I do the whole range.
Very cool. So you've been around to a number of shows. I'm sure that there's a big difference between the headspace of crafting and creating versus being out in front of people, having to meet and greet. What is it about, what do you like about Omaha's show? Is there anything that sticks out about this show?
Omaha, I absolutely love O-Comic-Con. We've been coming since year one, just because there was really nothing else in the Midwest area. There's a lot of anime shows, but I'm not big into anime.
Right.
So as far as like an actual pop culture comic convention, Omaha was another Midwest. And where I grew up, like we were close to Omaha anyway, so I grew up kind of in the area whenever we had to come up for shopping, whatever. So I was very excited there was a convention up here, so we came, and it's just...
In the big city.
It really is. Like, I grew up in a cornfield, dude. But no, and even just the first year, consider we'd been to many other first year shows, and it felt like a third or fourth year show.
Yeah,
the crowd that came out, it was amazing. And they have only improved on that since then. Yep. And the reason we keep coming back to Omaha is because it does have everything we want. It has the panels, it has the entertainment, it's got the vendors, it's got great people. But it doesn't have the huge crowd. There's enough crowd that it's a good show for everyone, but there's not so much crowd that you're literally waiting in line half the show for something. Yeah. So that's what we love about it, because we do travel to a lot of the bigger ones, BlizzCon, New York Comic-Con, where it's just...
Yeah. Well, even PlanetCon,
even Planet Comic-Con has gotten to that point with the crowds where it's like, it's almost claustrophobic for me. I do have the anxiety. That's one of the reasons why I love having a table, because I kind of have my own little space. I can... kind of take a step back and be like, this is fine, there's no crowd behind my little table. But
cool.
Omaha, it's that way. I love doing the shopping here and meeting the people. They always bring out other great creators and artists, so it's always going to be one of our favorites.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Baroness Von T, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Matt.
All right.
KPAO Community Television, handmade in Omaha since 2013.
All right, our next guest is Allie Cantarella. Allie, if you could talk a little bit about the mediums you like to work with. In a word, you are an artist.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the mediums you like to work with? And we'll start there.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to work with watercolor. It's my favorite medium. but I also work with some more unconventional mediums like coffee and wine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll use them in a way similar to watercolor where I do a light wash and then I build up layers with glazing. When I use watercolor, I do a really rough watercolor base, and then I build up with markers and pen, ink, acrylic paint pen, so it's really a multimedia experience.
Very cool. Very eclectic.
Yes.
Which is one way I would almost describe your style. We were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about you use the word aesthetic, the aesthetic that you have going on, and how that ties into your artwork and the two kind of play off each other?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite pieces that people really equate with me are my feather earrings. My roommate makes them. They're made out of bicycle tube.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, they're my favorite. They're vegan leather alternative, they're lightweight, they're renewable, and those are all things that are important to me. In a similar way, my style, the way I dress, is an extension of my artwork is an extension of me, so they're both representative of the other.
Okay, and very, very importantly, they also look cool.
Yeah, the aesthetic does matter to me. I am an artist after all, yeah.
Okay, so you are not from Omaha.
No.
Is this the only show that you go to? How many different other Comic-Cons do you get around to?
Yeah, I do about 20 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I try to do one big one a month.
Okay.
So I've been to New York Comic-Con, C2E2 in Chicago, which Chicago's where I'm from.
Okay.
And then I do Emerald City in Seattle. I've done Kansas City Comic-Con.
Wow.
So I'm all over, mostly the Midwest, a little bit of the West Coast. This is really my only show in this area. Kansas City is 2 hours away. And then since I'm from Chicago, we have a bunch of local shows. So we have shows at libraries or different schools or facilities, and I do a lot of those.
Okay, cool. Do you have, I know for myself, I can pretty much write wherever, but the TV can't be on. There's certain distractions that I can't have going on. Do you have a specific creative space that you have to be in?
Yeah.
Do you have a studio at home?
Yeah, I have a studio upstairs in the place where I live, and I work best either if I'm with someone who doesn't talk to me or no one at all. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't really pretend that I can co-work very well unless we're both face down working on our art, and then we maybe share a little bit here and there.
Okay.
I do work out of my studio, and then when I get antsy, I love to work out of coffee shops, which Chicago has a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you've been around to a number of shows. You do a number of shows throughout the year. This is your 4th year at OCON?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What stands out about this show that has you coming back year after year?
This show is so fun and has a comfort level that not a lot of other shows have.
Okay.
I've genuinely connected with people who are craftspeople and podcasters, actors, not just artists. Sometimes other shows can be a little cliquey, or the artist alleys can be so huge that we don't get to see the rest of the show.
Right.
Yeah. This one is very accessible, and everyone's so friendly. I've made friends who I'm excited to see year after year.
Yeah. I keep hearing that, and that's my observation as well, is the personable nature of this show, and yet from year one, it seemed like, from a professional standpoint, the same caliber as all the big shows.
Yes, it hasn't changed much in the last 4 years. It started out high, they knew what they were doing, and then just kind of maintained that.
Right.
They've been bringing back different guests and different people, but I'm excited to be here every year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Allie, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Allie Cantarella,
Yes.
it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
Hey, I'm Grant. Welcome to Second Plate. Today what I'm going to be making is, I'm going to make some bread. Hawaiian burgers, chicken breast cutlets. Honestly, it's awesome. It's just so so much to learn from it.
All right. Our next guest is Jared Sloger. Welcome.
Hey, good to be here.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about this, and I'm going to start here because you have a very specific look going.
Right.
If you could tell us what you just were talking to me about.
Yeah.
Using cosplay as a form of expression, but not getting sucked into the specifics.
Right. So this is, I kind of went for a like ethereal alien / aquatic look. So it kind of combines a lot of different things. I like ocean life, so wanted that to play in a little bit, sort of like mermaids. Actually, there's one in one of the other rooms I saw, which is kind of cool. So there's that. I was also just looking at alien is kind of cool, so you kind of fit into your own thing. I've also been experimenting a lot, and this is part of that experiment, with body paint and makeup and different things.
Yeah.
So also extending the body as, you know, another canvas to work on. So
One thing that stands out with this look, that always stands out to me, that makes any kind of cosplay seem like somebody's going the next step is the contacts. Is that something that becomes kind of a not a hazard, but I mean, is there eye strain? Talk through.
Well, I've been wearing contacts since I was like 10, so you know, wearing theatrical contacts is really not a problem for me at all.
Is it the same? It's pretty much the same thing.
Almost the same. I found a website, Pinky Paradise, where you can get different contacts. You can actually get them prescription. They recommend that you get them with prescription. Although these are actually a little bit weaker than my normal contacts. So to a certain point, like, things start to get a little bit blurry, which is kind of funny, but I can still see out of them pretty well.
Okay, cool.
So, but yeah, I do think it's a very entirely transformative thing because we're so used to seeing the human eyes, you know.
Right.
So
And this is
kind of pulls us out of it.
well, right. And these are almost like Michael Jackson Thriller. It's not like you just decided to go blue or green or some other color, whether it's an alien or maybe even a slitted pupil, like a reptilian kind of thing.
Exactly.
Now you did this at home. So then, is there ever a time where you were having to stop and grab something at a gas station and, you know, run into Walmart for something last minute?
I usually try to have everything, but I almost contemplated running out to JCPenney again, getting some more makeup.
That would be awesome.
So it would have been funny.
Okay.
Really funny, but I wouldn't hesitate.
Now, you don't have a booth here this year, but we met here at Comic-Con.
Right.
And you are an artist.
Yes.
What mediums do you typically like to work with?
I work in a lot of different ones. Probably my two primary ones these days are Prismacolor marker and acrylics, and then for traditional. And then I also work digitally. So I have a Gaumon tablet. It's very similar to the Cintiq, but it's a lot more affordable. So that's a big thing, you know. Like, how much do I want to pay for art supplies? So, but I absolutely love it.
One thing I think I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, as far as your subject matter was, you had animals, maybe even tigers specifically. Can you talk about that and just kind of the influence?
I've always been a cat person, so that kind of grew into tigers probably around like 2005. Not really sure what it was exactly. Something clicked, and absolutely loved tigers at that point, and then on. And for me, it's like they symbolize, you know, power, beauty. They can both. Also, like why I like the color blue so much is because it also represents, you know, water, calmness. It can be aggressive. It can also be calm. So there's a lot of duality to both things, and I feel like, you know, tigers, blue, both those things really kind of correspond with that. So, and also because I love aquatic life, and that really inspires me and also relaxes me. Sometimes I fall asleep to whale songs at night, you know, and I have blue lights in my room, so you know, I create this kind of environment for myself to create.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time. I think it's really refreshing to to hear the depth that goes into somebody's taste and their styles and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and so I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Jared Sloger, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I'm tired. Yeah. Oh! My goodness.
KPAO Community Television, handmade in Omaha since 2013.
Well, this was Comic-Con from the creators' perspectives, from the vendors' perspectives. Thanks for watching, and come out next year.